Life is all about choices. The key to success is making intelligent choices. Human beings often make highly unintelligent choices. But when enough people make the same unintelligent choices, you don't notice. Let's start with simple stuff. I remember when I was in elementary school. There was this kid that was wearing a gold watch. It was obviously his mother's gold watch. Well, that's what it looked like. So it was the first grade Rebbe that asked him, where'd you get this watch? So he said it was from Shmuley. Shmuley gave it to you? I bought it off Shmuley. I gave him my nosh for the day. He gave me the watch. So the Rebbe went into Shmuley. Where'd you get this watch? Took it from the house. Uh-huh. So of course he calls up Shmuley's mom and asks, what time is it? Well, we've got it. It's okay. So Shmuley sold a gold watch for a treat, which I guess for a first grader is not that much off. But when intelligent human beings move to a place that they know is not great for their kids, but it's important for their careers. What do we call that? That's an intelligent choice? If you make the guy say it in so many words, what's more important, your career or the future of your kids? Who's going to choose his career? But people are doing it all the time. People are doing this all the time. And career is one thing. People make decisions, major decisions, on the basis of stuff that's trivial. But all the friends are doing that too. Whether it's how one spends money, how one spends time. How many people are just too busy to have a relationship with their own children? What are they too busy doing? Remember, livelihood is a means, it's not a goal. Life is about making money? Is that what you live for? And the kids are just in the way? What do you live for? What's important to you? Money is a means. It's a means to all sorts of good things. But don't confuse that with a goal. What do you want your family to look like? Where do your values fit in? Yeah, we like to have fun. But is fun a priority? You live for fun? You make sacrifices for fun? That's what people are doing all the time. You know, you're at a crossroads, all of you. You have your lives ahead of you. You're going to have to make all kinds of decisions. Many of the decisions you make today are far-reaching. They can determine lots of things with regard to your future. I don't know, I don't want to make it sound too heavy. But it is. It's heavy. First thing you got to do is clarify for yourselves, what are your priorities? And make sure that your decisions are addressing your priorities, taking into consideration the practicalities, the means. But what's priority is priority. Everyone wants to provide for their kids. The most important thing you want to provide for your kids are values. I know there are those who think that kids have to grow up affluent. They have to have every latest gadget. Spoil them rotten. Good, this is not a class on chinuch. But that's not what makes happy children. Kids that don't know what they live for, you can pamper them all you want. You can spoil them all you want. In fact, the more you spoil them, the worse it is. They don't believe in themselves. Where are they going to get in life? More than anything else, you got to give them values. And it's not through sermons. You don't go preaching to your kids. They don't learn anything from your preaching. Sermons only bore them. Probably bore you too. It's your choices. It's your choices. They see your priorities. You're teaching them priorities. Got to make the right choice for yourself, for your families. This is in choosing your next step in life. Your education. How important is Torah in your life? What is the purpose of an education? What do you want to do for a living? What kind of person do you want to marry? An idealist with a good heart? Or some spoiled kid? Or you're going to have to work your head off to support her shopping preferences. What are we going to be like? A place where people are giving, caring, there for one another, have time for one another. Does working on your Midos mean anything to you? Being in an environment where people believe in growing, does that speak to you? Do you want to be real, or would you rather keep up with the Joneses? Do you want to be a real human being? Is that a priority to you? Or is social climbing more important? Make intelligent decisions. Make intelligent choices. That's what life is all about. It's all about choices. You know what Gehenna is all about? There are no fires there. There are no fires there. That's all mashal. It's all allegory. There's something far worse than fires. It's the realization of how you wasted your life. You want a taste of Gehenna? I'm not suggesting you try it. When you make an irreversible decision and realize how mistaken it was, you don't know where to hide. You don't know what to do with yourself. There's nothing more emotionally painful than that. Nothing, nothing. So imagine when your life is over and it's too late to do anything else. And then you're faced with the reality of all the bad choices you made. So you don't have to wait for Gehenna. As you get on in life and you realize where you're headed, but you're just so far into the game that you don't see it realistic to start over again, it hits you. It hits you. What did I give up for what? What does the good life look like? For your own sake, make intelligent choices. Don't fool yourselves. The second part of this is the story of Adam HaRishon. Right, the serpent came to Adam HaRishon, and we understand that it was a lot more than what we just read in the Chumash. He didn't just say the fruit tastes good. He was told by Hashem the day he eats of the Eitz Hadas, he will become mortal. He was told that the state of mortality is Yodei Tov Ra, which means up until that point, his instincts were all good. And it was only his intellect that can lead him astray. It'll be the other way around. His natural state, his instinctive state will change. As a mortal, your instinctive state is going to change to be like that of the serpent. And he chose to eat of the Eitz Hadas. For what reason? What was this intellectual decision to choose mortality? And we're told. He said, listen, Hashem created this world to give. If my natural state is to make good choices, my natural state is to choose good, how much reward can I get for that already? It was so easy. I'd rather that my instincts be animalistic, that I have to choose what's right. And when I make the right decisions, boy, am I going to get reward. That was his choice. That was Adam HaRishon's choice. To be mortal, to be like us, and to get so much reward for every good choice, every good decision he ever made. Where did he go wrong? Hashem said not to do it. Why not? Why isn't that right? Why isn't that right? And we all know the answer good and well. Sure, if we'll all make the right decisions, we're going to get so much reward. But what are the odds that you're going to make the right decisions when your instincts are animalistic? So what was his problem? Hashem told him, don't do it. He didn't take the advice. Well, where was he wrong? In his state, where his instincts were good, it was so obvious to him that if he chooses mortality, he's going to make the right decisions. Because it's silly to choose evil. He didn't realize that once he's transformed into a mortal, he's going to look like the way the world looks today. It's so hard to get yourself to make the right choice. We're so full of instincts that are animalistic. Physical ones, emotional ones. Guys, you're in Gan Eden. You're in Yeshiva in Jerusalem. You're in Gan Eden. It's so easy. Don't think you're going to have that kind of clarity when you go back there. Don't think that you can find yourselves if you choose an environment that's all mixed up. Don't take for granted that you're going to make intelligent choices. The odds are you're going to make the same silly choices as everyone around you. So your first choice is, what are you going to do next year? Where are you going? And wherever you end up, you'll have to make lots of choices. Make sure you make sane choices, sane decisions. And don't be naive. It's not going to be easy out there. Don't be naive. It's an awful thing to say, but I am sure you've got friends that within the next couple of years are going to marry out. I'm sure you know that. They're not evil people. I'm sure had you asked them, and possibly even at this point, they'd look at you like you're coming from the moon. You know, you just slip into a mode and get deeper and deeper. And before you know it, you're far gone. You got to make good choices that ensure that you're going to be thinking straight for years to come. Not put yourselves in situations where your clarity is going to be blurred. And you're going to have to work hard not to make big mistakes. All right, I think you all got the message. I hope you understand this has to be taken at every level. Where are you going to be, and wherever you end up, who are you going to hang out with? What are you going to spend your time doing? What kind of relationships are you going to have? How much is learning going to be part of your lives? You got to plan that out now. Don't wait till you find yourself in the mass of confusion and then trust that you're going to make sane decisions. Because most guys don't. And one day they wake up and regret. It's too late. Truth is, it's never too late, but when you're far gone, you think it's too late. I think it was clear. Any questions? Or is it too clear you don't want to talk to me? Yeah.
When do we have to go out into like the actual world? I know Aish is like huge on Kira, so how do we balance doing that with also not?
We don't believe in being hermits. We don't believe that the Torah wants us to just lock ourselves up in the base medrash and pretend that everything's wonderful out there. We don't believe in that. But you got to make sure that you're strong and that you find yourself in the right environment for enough of the time that can carry you through when you're not in the right environment. You're anchored somewhere. You're anchored in a good place where things are clear. Yeah.
How do you then go into a small community that, let's say, doesn't have a kollel and things like that to try and help that community?
You got to make sure that before you go there, you're holding somewhere. You got to make sure that before you go there, you're really, really strong. And don't delude yourselves. At this stage of the game, at this time in your lives, as strong as you may be, it hasn't been tested yet. It's not the time to just go to the middle of nowhere and hope for the best. But yeah, you got to work to the point that you're strong enough and you can be anywhere. Yeah.
Did I did down make the right choice by to eat from the edges?
Did you make the right choice? One day when we all do tshuva, we will make good on his choice. But until that point, oh, did he make a mistake? Look at us. And we're the better ones. Yeah.
The Rosh Yeshiva mentioned an idealist with a good heart or a spoiled, or someone who's spoiled for a kid. How do you balance being idealistic with a good heart, but still practical on the ground?
Yeah, you got to add that too. An idealist doesn't mean dreamy. An idealist means someone who really respects values more than anything else. Yeah.
Rosh Yeshiva mentioned that we need to strengthen ourselves more. Does that just come from sitting in yeshiva and learning, or?
Learning alone doesn't do it. You've got to be working on your Midos. You got to work on whom you are as a person completely.
But that comes through yeshiva.
Yeshiva is a place where everyone's into it. You got to do the work yourself. No one's going to do it for you, and the Gemara isn't automatically going to do it for you either. You have to take responsibility for your Midos. But here, at least people talk about it. Yeah.
So what's the best way to work on your Midos?
First thing you've got to do is gain a good sense of self-awareness, know your Midos, decide what it is that you want to work on and when. And then the way to go about it is first read up on the Midah. We've got a wealth of literature. read up on the Midah and then take it to heart and then start charting yourself. Okay, so it's all clear. Good luck. You should all have siyata d'shmaya in every choice you make.